This is Moorgate, the whimsically named farm of Phil and Marjorie Forbes. It is anchored by a solid prairie home that could have been your grandfather's, in a barn where the quiet is undisturbed by modern machinery. Forbes says he can make a living on these 60 acres, if he's smart about it. He's been reclaiming the land over the past decade, a few acres at a time, getting off the chemicals and putting it into organic production. Today, what he makes on the vegetable garden alone justifies the effort.
I grew all winter storables, so garlic, onions, squash, potatoes. And so with that, amazingly enough, growing around 2 acres of organic vegetables, my system was that half of it was always in a cover crop and half was in a cash crop. So really it's 1 acre. Out of 1 acre, I netted $4,500. So that was exactly what I was getting for the entire farm conventionally versus 1 acre vegetables. Now, of course, organic vegetables, yes, harder, typically, but not really.
Forbes has embraced many time-tested practices that predate conventional modern farming. He composts, feeds his sheep and chickens on pasture, uses his horses for plowing and hauling, and is always looking for symbiotic partnerships that make the farm work better, like his arrangement with Amish dairy farmers.
I'm taking replacement dairy heifers that those Amish need to have them go somewhere for a while. They actually will follow the sheep. So the horses bash the grass, the sheep follow on and eat all the weeds, but they won't eat the tall grass, and the cows will eat the grass. So that way I can use all my forage. I will direct market the sheep, and I will be paid by the Amish on a daily basis.
For taking the heifers?
Correct.
Because they don't want the heifers back till they're milk producers.
That's right, and they just take land around here, extremely valuable, and typical small farms. So that's always a problem with cattle operations.
Forbes Farm works because it is diverse, a hyper-local ecosystem. Bees pollinate plants, Icelandic sheep produce wool and lamb meat, chickens lay eggs, and horses provide the labor. The only modern device needed is an electric fence.
Literally, the type of grazing I'm trying to do here is mimicking the movement of the bison in the area. Bison would come in, huge herds, but tightly packed because of predators. They would keep that herd, and I've actually been to Africa. I've seen the herds on the Serengeti, same situation. So you have those large bison herds come in, they poop, they pee, they eat, they devastate, and they move on.
Right.
All of that cycles. They won't come back for a long time. When they come back, it's better, and then they poop, pee, eat everything, trample everything, move on. Well, that's what I'm doing with electric fencing. I'm concentrating the animals, they do all that, they move on. I'm the predator. I'm keeping them close. The idea is live weight per acre. The more live weight you can jam in the smallest area, the more you're mimicking that natural occurrence.
Forbes can't compete with the big-scale commodities operations, and he does still work a day job at a local natural creamery. But he can get a good price selling directly to the new Pioneer Food Co-op in Iowa City, and to local people who buy his organic eggs for $2.50 a dozen, a steal compared with big food chain prices. Farmers, he says, must be savvy small business owners, manufacturers, marketers, and salespeople all in one.
Work on your production model so that you start minimizing cash outlay. You can offer a good fair price that will attract people. It'll be healthier. You don't have to convince them. They can see the difference in the egg and the pan. If the chicken is out on grass, that egg will be completely different. And they'll think, wow. Then I'll say, and you know why it's different? Blah, blah, blah. It's eating grass, high omegas, good for you. And you know what? That grass-fed lamb is the same thing. And here's how you do it. And now I don't have to really cram all this down their throat. They're kind of open. And then they tell their friends. And then slowly but surely, I can build something with that.